Well, I've come up to the post office and literally we got called here just minutes ago. I haven't actually even seen your press release, but I do know that, which we thought, industrial action is now coming our way. Simon, you're head of the post office. We have the chairperson, chairwoman, chairman, whatever you like to be, as well, Julie Edge. Who wants to take us away first? Because, I mean, what exactly have you found out yet about the ballots? What's going to happen, Simon?
Okay, so we've received notification today that the CWU have balloted in favour, a majority in favour of strike action. We haven't yet received notification of when that action may take place. We expect to get at least 7 days' notice.
Right, because I see about you talking about cooling off periods and that sort of thing. Is this it, or do you think now negotiations are going to get a bit tougher?
I think what I'd like to stress, Paul, is that it is strike action, not industrial action, which I think has been a misunderstanding, because a lot of what's reported in the press is industrial action, right. But it is for strike action. And obviously we await now the notification from the union as to what that action is going to be.
Now, obviously, you're about to debate the whole thing in Tynwald, aren't you, the future of? Does this affect that debate?
It's obviously timed to possibly coincide with the Tynwald report that we're presenting to Tynwald next week about various changes that we want to put into place. But you know, that it's their liberty to take a ballot with their members. And you know, obviously it coincides with Tynwald, but that debate will still take place next week, and we'll know the outcome from that. Whether there's only elements that we have to go back to Tynwald within the Postal Act, and obviously there's 5 recommendations down for Tynwald to approve next week, and hopefully that will be a positive outcome for the post office.
So are your hands tied? I mean, have you got to carry on with what, you know, your remit, or is there any wriggle room now at all?
Well, we haven't actually reached the final stages of negotiation with the unions. We've been in union negotiations, well, certainly the executive team have been in negotiations with all of the unions. We haven't reached the final stage. We've actually only reached stage 2. So we're a bit disappointed, really, that they voted for balloted for strike action when we haven't completed negotiations. And as we've said in all of our press releases, we are open to further negotiations with the unions.
Well, I don't know what says this one, Miss Neal, whatever, but Mr. Pullinger pulled no punches. I mean, he said you're not fit for purpose almost. It was really that strong, wasn't he, that you're not a management that he can deal with, I guess.
Well, we have a responsibility. You know, the board of the post office have a responsibility to be operating in a financially responsible way. We're coming forward with proposals that are actually doing that. It's been a board that's financially responsible. Mr. Pullinger, I think, in the interview to you, he actually said that this isn't something new. It's been 10 years. We've seen it coming for 10 years, and he's quite right. For 10 years, this has been seen, and this board is behaving financially and doing the right things for the post office to make it sustainable for the future and to protect its current workforce going forward. We're not actually making serious changes to their terms and conditions. We're not even at the end of the negotiations with regards to that. So
okay, and anything to add on that?
Yeah, I think the plan, we've got a 5-year plan, and the plan is essentially to sustain the business in the long term. We've got the job security of our workforce at the forefront of our minds. We value our workforce, and we're looking at protecting service. So our customer habits have changed, customer decisions have changed. They use electronic communications. Our business partners are using more and more of their own portals to transact their business. So there's less counter transactions, there's less letters, and we've got to adapt our business around that, and that's what we're trying to achieve. So protecting service, and also in protecting our self-funding status. So for 45 years we've been self-funding, so we've taken no subvention from government. I think that's important.
Well, no, better than that, you've been giving the government lots of money. I mean, I had with Alf Cannon today about this. You know, yeah. You have been a cash cow for them, although he didn't like that term. You know, millions of pounds per year, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct. So we've happy to have provided those dividends or levies into government when we've been making profit. Obviously, it's more difficult trading times now, and we've looked and we've worked closely with Treasury, and I think they're supportive of our strategy to return to a profit.
Okay, back to also what Mr. Cannon was saying. It seems to be the pension problems that are looming. Is that right? Is this where a lot of issues could be heading up?
Well, we're no different to any final pension salary scheme. The government's gone through a lot of these changes. The workforce have had to do share the costs, and you know, the same is going to be with the post office. The business can no longer afford to contribute the expectation from the actuarial assumptions that we will have to pay in the future, and so we're being responsible and we're addressing it early. We're not leaving it till it's too late. If we address it early, we'll be able to bring it back on track.
Okay, well, we're literally talking hot off the press. Do you know what industrial action, when the industrial action will be, and that sort of thing?
No, we haven't had the notification of that yet, so as soon as we know that, obviously we will. You
did say that the management were in place and robust procedures or something, one of those speaky things you say?
Robust contingencies. Plans for...
What, does that mean you down?
Yeah,
I mean, so... not joking too much, but would you mean everyone manning the it's Christmas after all, let's face it.
It's Christmas, but we have a 350 workforce on which we value all of the workforce, and there's a number of employees that are not in the CWU, but
what sort of numbers do you know?
Executive, there's 150.
Yeah, approximately 130.
So they're expected to carry on, right?
So,
you don't see picket lines and all that sort of issues?
No, we have two unions we work with, represent our employees. It's only one it's called a dispute and called a ballot. So we have 130 employees that aren't in that union.
Okay. Is there still? I mean, there must be. There's still room to get everyone around the table yet, right?
As I said, we've not reached the final stages.
That's what I mean.
So, and I know Mr. Pullinger keeps saying he's not met with the board. It's not the board for the board to meet with unions to negotiate terms. It's the executive, and the executive have been doing that for a long time.
And you think that Tim will go ahead the whole debate about the future and these recommendations?
Yes, it's on the order paper. It's there. It's going to be debated on Tuesday.
So would we see you on a cashier's desk taking post?
I wouldn't mind doing that, Paul. I would do anything to make sure that we do the service that's required for our customers.
Yep, we've got, I say, robust plans in place, and when we understand what date the strike is going to take place and for how long that will be, then we can obviously release more information to our customers.